Hello people, Mark from Character Change Works. Hope that you're well. Guys, in this video I'm going to give you 3 different erroneous thinking styles, and this is based on cognitive behavioral therapy. One of my fellow students actually forwarded me this when I explained to her what I'm trying to do. So Corinne, thank you very much for this, and I hope that this helps the people who listen to these videos a lot. There are 10 in total, but I'm going to break it down into little bite-sized chunks so we can get a grip of these things a little bit better. So, erroneous thinking style number 1, catastrophizing. This is where you think worst case scenario right from the get-go, regardless of what's happened. A situation takes place, you're assuming a lot of things, and it is the world has just come to an end. Maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes, half an hour, a day or so afterwards, you realize that your thinking was erroneous, because now, after the event, the truth has kind of made itself known. And then you realize, oops, I've made a mistake. But what I want to address here is the immediacy of this thinking style. There is this instant worst case scenario that takes place in the thinking. The little example that is given here is your daughter goes to the cinema. I'll be back by 10 o'clock at night, and by 10:05 they're not back. By 10:10 you've already got the police and the ambulance, you've rung all the hospitals, and 10:20 the daughter wanders in the house. And eventually, when you've calmed down from this frantic panic, you realize that the transport bringing them back home was running a bit late. And then all the calm is kind of returned back to normal because of these newfound facts. The point here is the immediacy of, worst case scenario, she's dead within 5 minutes of being late. There's hospital, in a car crash, all this kind of stuff, and it's really bad. So how can we correct the catastrophizing style thinking? Put your thoughts in perspective. In the example given, your daughter is old enough and sensible to make arrangements to get back. If the transport's running late, there's nothing she can do about it. If she did cause any alarm by being over late, then she could ring you and let you know what was going on. Weigh up the evidence. Is the facts that you've got in terms of your thinking correct as to what's actually happening? But in this instance, put more trust in your daughter. I'm sure that she'll be able to let you know what was going on, obviously depending on age and this kind of stuff. And focus on what you can do to cope. In this particular instance, if you were worried after, say, half an hour, 45 minutes, ring. And then if nothing happens, then of course, then you can start to make some plans, ring friends, and so forth in terms of getting in contact with your daughter. So that is the first one, this catastrophizing style thinking. Erroneous thinking pattern number 2 is this all or nothing thinking, black and white. And what happens there is you don't see things as they truly are. It is either this or it's that. There is no in between. A lot of people, I was like that at one point, where it was either right or it was wrong, and I didn't really understand in my younger years that there was various viewpoints. There were different opinions on a particular subject, and I had the impression that my thoughts was correct, and of course in my eyes they were. But as I grew older, I realized that if you ask 10 people to look at something, a discussion or a topic, you're going to have at least 10 different points of view. There will be some similarities, but you'll have different points of view based on a wide range of things. So let's have a look at how we can help the all or nothing black and white style thinker. A thermometer has got hot and cold temperature numbers on it. However, it also includes all the little numbers in between. And when we consider how we think in terms of people and their opinions, their experience, their education, and their own biases. There's going to be a range of things, just like the thermometer has a range of temperatures that it can reach. So when we consider that, it might be helpful. Be realistic and develop a this and that kind of thinking. Could be this or that. Think about grayscale in terms of the black and white, but that there's various shades of gray in the thinking style. So that might help you as a all or nothing type of thinking if you find that you are yes, no, black, white kind of person. And erroneous thinking number 3 is this thing called mind reading. And mind reading is simply this kind of attitude where I know exactly what you're thinking when I say this. You must feel this. You must think this. I know that you are thinking the following, whatever the case might be. And it is this assumption that you yourself as the speaker knows what the listener is going to say or think regarding the comment that you've just made. That is erroneous because we don't know. Even though you might know the person very well, but you don't know. The way to deal with this one is, of course, ask questions and say nothing. Say your say and wait for the reply. Chances are you might be right, but there's also a good chance that you might be wrong. By asking different kind of questions, how do you feel about what I've just said? What do you think about what's going on? These kind of things, by getting more information, will correct this kind of assumption to fact and not necessarily fiction. So when you find yourself saying things like, I know that you must be feeling this. I know that you're thinking the following. I know exactly what you're going to say when I say the following. Could be quite dangerous and quite damaging to any kind of relationship, because the other person then, in effect, their personality, their opinions is completely eroded out of the conversation, and that could be quite damning. So there you go, guys. There are just 3 different types of erroneous thinking for you. I hope it's been helpful. There's 7 more in this, and then later on I'm going to bring some other styles of thinking also that might help you with regards to how we can resolve problems in our own lives, and also if we are the helpers in the world for the people who we are trying to help. So there you go, my friend. I hope you found this helpful. At this point, I'm going to ask you just to do all the YouTube admin, the comment, the share, the subscribe. If you hit the bell, pick the little all section, and then every time we upload a video, you will be notified in the normal way. But for now, this is Mark from Colors Change Works, and I'll speak to you soon.